Boom. Wahoo. Hey, Jamie, we're back talking postseason wrestling. Big Tens, everybody's coming up this weekend, Friday through Sunday. One, how you doing? And it's a little bit like Christmas.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's here already, but it's gonna be exciting. There's gonna be it's almost too much because you can't follow everything. Like I'm gonna be at PIAA's and like you're gonna miss how many rounds of the morning rounds of Big Ten and like everybody's going at the same time.
It is. It's too much between. So when do PA State start? They start Thursday the 5th?
Thursday night.
Yep,
Yeah.
Thursday night. And then, you have Big 12's EIWA starting on the 6th, the MAC, Pac 12, and SoCon. And then, states goes all the way through. The finals are Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yep. And then ACCs and Big Tens and Ivies are all Sunday, I think, right? So, I mean, it's solid, packed, serious wrestling. States is gonna looks like it could have a pretty big show down there. Uh, and of course, I'm blanking everybody's name. Bassett and who's
Hair.
Hair.
Yeah,
That's
the double A finals are likely to be better than the triple A. Uh, but yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
pretty crazy. Hair. What's his? He's the. Does he have the all-time win record? What does he have right now in
He
Pennsylvania?
does now. Yeah, he beat Aaron Seidel's record of 203, 204 or something like that. And he's got the all-time win record in Pennsylvania now.
Pretty remarkable. And the double A, right, between Faith Christian and Bishop McCourt, and I mean, those are the two powerhouses. But I mean, double A is putting out some real product, especially this year, right, with McCourt kind of starting to send people out of there.
I mean, McCourt we'll have to see how they do tournament wise, just because I mean they don't have half the team that they
They
were
did. This is
expecting
true, right?
coming back from last year.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. One of them will be wrestling this weekend, right, in college. So,
Yeah.
um, well, it's an overload here. And, I guess, obviously the crown jewel for college is the Big Tens, but Big 12s looks pretty good. EIWA, since the Ivies left, Jamie, it's really remarkable how weak it is.
Yeah, I have the pre-seeds for them. I mean there's still at least 12 teams. I don't know how many if they only seed 12 or but yeah, it's watered down is the politest way of saying it, I'd say, compared to what it was.
Yep.
Uh, and IVs are the same idea. They have full brackets that are out.
Yeah.
Uh, and that looks like a six-man tournament.
Six-man tournament, I think only to be outdone by the Pac 12, which starts at like 1:30 in the afternoon, and it will be done that night. It's crazy. Like
Well,
what?
I forget where I was, and I heard some officials saying like they're gonna run like four mats, and it's like it's gonna fly and drag at the same time because I think they're not gonna have rest time in between.
Totally. I don't know whose genius idea it is to start it at the midday or just after lunch. Um,
They
you know,
did them on a Thursday last year
last year, yeah,
or
yeah, they did.
Friday. One of them, one of the two. They did it
Yeah,
early.
yeah. If you're watching it, I gave you the Pacific time. It's 3:30. So just to be clear, the ACC's 10 a.m. on Sunday. Um, the Big Ten, it starts at 10 a.m. on. Oh my gosh, I don't have the day down. I think it's Sunday, but I have March 7th down. Big 12's 11 a.m. start on Friday. EIWA 10 a.m. start on Friday. Ivy start at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Mac starts at 12 noon. and I will post this online. I got all the streaming stuff here. Pac-12s we talked about. SoCon March 6th, Friday, 10 a.m. also.
Yeah, I saw there were some people somewhere. I saw somebody had a really good graphic that had all of the tournaments.
Okay.
Yeah, EIWA at 10 a.m., Max at 12, SoCon 10 a.m., Big 12 11 a.m., Pac 12 3:30, and then on Sunday, Big 10. Or no, that's all.
It's all Saturday.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Big 10 restarts. That's some of that. The Big 10 one might be wrong. Something looks weird as far as that saying
I think it's a Saturday, Sunday
3-7 at
thing.
10 a.m.
Starts at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Saturday, and then I guess the medal round is on Sunday, I'm guessing. And then you have
Yeah, definitely
oh, good.
yeah, it's definitely mixed. Saturday and Sunday for Big 10.
Yep. The other thing that's interesting to me, Jamie, coming into this end of the season is this is the highest number of undefeated wrestlers going into the postseason I can remember. I don't know if it's because of injuries, because reduced schedules. It's the opposite of Hare setting the all-time wins record in Pennsylvania this year. Like,
Right.
everybody's. I don't know how many people on this list. I don't think one of them, up younger, is the only one with more than 20 matches on the undefeated list, which is pretty remarkable. 22
Oh,
wrestlers.
crazy.
So, right, 22 undefeated wrestlers. 141 has the most. Mendez, Vega, Olivari, who's been out quite a bit, and Stanich, who was out quite a bit. Um, Joey Olivari was 15 and 0, and he missed a lot of the season. I think that was mostly early season tournaments he got to. Stanich
Oh,
missed.
absolutely.
Yeah, right. Stanich, Jax. Well, Forrest came in late. Obviously, he's 9 and 0, but everybody else is in the teens, and it's pretty remarkable. There's two at 125: Seymour and Lilladal. 33: Blaze, Bird, Forrest. 41: Mendez, Vega, Oliveira, Stanich. I said 49: Van Ness and uh, Caleb Tice. I think.
Highest from SIUE, I think.
Yeah. And good for them for having someone out there right there, right? That's good.
Yeah.
57 Cannon's back, Shapiro, 65 Messenbrink and Blaze, 74 Haynes and Ruiz, 84 Walsh, Rocco's the only one, 97 Barr and Elam, and Trumbull and Bastida at 285. Pretty good list of guys to be undefeated
Oh, for sure. And but just mathematically, there's quite a few of them get eliminated this weekend.
with, right? Yeah. So at 33, at least one of them will be eliminated from the Big Ten. And then 41, one of them will be eliminated the Big Ten. Um, yeah, who knows? Same at 65. So, yeah, there'll be six or so that will be eliminated, and then it will be move on time to nationals. So, Um, looking at the Big Ten, lots of criticism of the pre-seeds, and it's kind of weird that they're not going to do a coaches challenge till the night before, so it doesn't give people a great opportunity to, look at the real bracket because we don't know who's, I don't know. I didn't go through everything. You can only challenge if you're within 10 or 15 points of the person ahead of you.
15 points, and per Kale's press conference on Monday, they didn't even have the points yet.
Exactly. Exactly. But and if you listen to that press conference, that may be the most critical I've ever heard Cale Sanderson talk about anything.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. He's generally not that critical, and he was not happy about it, obviously. And we'll get to why he's probably not happy. But there's other unhappiness, like Lucas Bird probably is. He's a returning national champion, 17 and 0. It's not his fault. The Big Ten gave Illinois, I don't want to say a ridiculously easy schedule, but I mean they
An
didn't wrestle
unbalanced schedule for sure. And I don't
totally.
and I don't know, I didn't dig into it enough to see what their Big Ten record was last year to see like the NFL will you get if you're the fifth in your division, you get the fifth in the other divisions and all that kind of stuff like the next year. Uh,
Well, they
I
had a
don't
really
know
good
if Big
year.
Ten does something similar.
They had a really
Last
good
year?
year. Yeah, because that
Okay.
Poeta redshirted everybody. Last year they had a pretty good season. Of course, now Poeta is gone. We can talk about that. Former Penn State national champion Jeremy Hunter is the new head coach. Um, but yeah, so they were like either third. I think they were third last year. I could be wrong. It was Illinois' best year in years. So
Okay. So
they
I was probably thinking more of the year before when they did punt kind of.
Yeah, they punted. They redshirted like three or four guys, and
Yep.
um, so Bird, through no fault of his own, but I wonder he's 17-0, and he when you go on WrestleStat, you can look and see he just didn't face a lot of the guys that Blaze and uh,
Davino.
Davina.
Ayala saw everybody.
Yeah, I saw everybody, and I mean I don't know how many people he wrestled in the top five, but he wrestled a lot, and it wasn't pretty. We could just look at it right now. What did Ayala have? He's 9-7, and he lost to what? Um,
Fugit. These numbers are WrestleStat, but he lost to Fugit, Davino, Blaze, and Bird.
exactly. So it wasn't like he was losing to losers, and then he lost to Forrest, right?
Yeah.
Right, and that was getting teched by Forrest. Holy cow, we talked about that. So, anyway, that's yeah, that I'm guessing 133 will be changed up, but who knows if Bird is close enough in points to have a challenge. I don't know.
You would think they have to be close enough. I mean, how else could I mean, one's 19-0, one's 17-0. Now, Bird is only 5-0 against the wrestlers in the field, where Blaze is 8-0 against wrestlers in the field.
Yeah, each one of
Uh,
those wins gives you what, 5 points head to head, or is it 10?
I didn't
You didn't, all right,
attempt to figure out that math,
not a problem.
but it's even Kale was saying that Bird, similar to Levi,
Right.
should be the one.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't, he just said undefeated national champions not being seeded one. I didn't hear him call out either guy, but I mean, it applied to both of them equally. Um,
Well, but Levi's not. Levi got third last year.
this is true. This is true. Right. I guess it was 2 years ago.
But
Yeah.
I think he did mention Bird specifically.
Okay. All right. So 33 will probably be shaken up. 74. Am I skipping anything in between there? I mean,
Let me just pull up those seeds. 25, I think Buzakis and Spencer Moore likely change. Uh
you think it will change?
it I've heard indications that people think it's going to.
Okay.
Uh 33, there's a chance Bird and Blaze get switched, which would put Blaze and Davino likely on the same side. 41, I don't think I heard too much about. Davis might get moved up from 7 to 6.
Right.
There was talk about a common opponent that Davis, I think it was DeCraker. Davis majored him and DeCraker beat Clark. Uh, so there's a chance that has a small impact. 49, I didn't hear any mention of issues.
Nope.
57,
I mean, I don't know if
Cannon.
Cannon's going to challenge or not.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that everyone is saying, and it's like, do you want them to punish the people for not wrestling, or do you want to ignore the results and say, well, this guy's better than that?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like, do you want something you could defend and saying, well, here's our criteria. You wrestle, you get points, and you show up. And if you're hurt, you're out, or you skip, whatever reason is, then you get hammered.
right. I mean, it seems crazy to have the number one ranked guy in the country right down. I don't. Is he the seven or he's not even seeded? He is a
I
seven.
think he
He's
was
a
the
seven.
seven.
Yeah, he is. So I'm guessing we may see changes there.
Right.
And then 65, I don't hear anything. I mean, will Blaze and Caliendo switch spots? I don't know.
They should.
Yeah,
You think head to head from a week ago would mean something.
would mean something, right? You'd think so. That's the human element that needs to happen. But then you're going to say the same thing about Minto and Levi,
Right. I mean,
right?
Levi is undefeated with a win over the guy ahead of him. I don't know how, in what world, that formula can spit that out. Let me see what WrestleStat has for 74. See, Haynes was 5-0 in conference, and Minto is 7-3. So you shouldn't get credit for those extra matches if you got that many losses to come against you.
Totally. I mean, it was Minto 18 and 4. I'm trying to see here.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, yeah, so I don't, and he lost to Haynes like that. Yeah, that's pretty egregious too. And then
Now they have in here on WrestleStat, they're showing uh him against they show Gabe Arnold as a win for Levi, which technically doesn't count for the tournament because he's not entered in that weight class.
right, and you wonder if that just takes away points from Levi, so the head to head didn't even make a reach.
It could be.
Yeah. Um,
Uh 84, I didn't hear any feedback on that. People were complaining about Angelo at the 8, but again to the same thing with Cannon.
yep.
Do you want to do you want to promote wrestling or do you want to let them get away with it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. So I'm guessing these will we'll see some of these blow up. On Friday. Uh, can I give a couple of Penn State statistics here?
I mean, even 285 looks questionable. Like Feldman's got 2 wins over Ferrari.
Right. Two wins, which, it's a 2 and 3. So it's one of those things where, all right, they're gonna still see each other in this in the how much energy you're gonna put out there, but it's also then it's the 7 and the 6, right? Is that right?
And Ferrari's got a win over Gadali.
Right. Yeah, I mean
That's
that.
his only that's Gadali's only in conference loss was to Ferrari.
I mean, you got to figure. I mean, Feldman beat Ferrari twice, but Ferrari got. I mean, he missed a lot of time, but clearly that win over Gadali weighed more than I mean, because I mean Ferrari. I don't know how many matches he missed. What's his record is,
He's 13-2 and Gadali's 20-2.
and what's Feldman? Feldman is
17-4.
right. I don't understand that one with the head to heads, but um, good question. You'd think that would flip. But that's a
You-
hard one to seed. And how much
It's
energy
hard because it's circular in a lot
yeah,
of ways because uh Feldman beat Ferrari, Ferrari beat Gadali, Gadali beat Mirasola, Mirasola beat Feldman.
yep, exactly. Exactly. So that's on some level, I wonder how much energy all the coaches are going to put into changing it. When you think you're going to be a national champ, right? You're just going to go through the field. On the other hand, some of these guys have real, like we were talking about it earlier. Yeah, 133. Whoever has between Blaze, Davino, and Bird, that's a really tough semifinal. That's
Sure.
really
Oh,
tough,
absolutely.
right? So, and there's a couple more like that, even at heavyweight. But Cannon, Webster,
Well, I
PJ
mean
Duke.
Cannon,
Yep.
Cannon and
Taylor and
PJ
Duke.
in a quarter.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, right? That's, but having, yeah, I mean, that sounds whatever. It is what it is. Um,
And that's similar to, I think there was another one that was just as bad. Like Rocco and Angelo was a quarter.
exactly. Right. That's another one that is like, all right. It wasn't filled with activity, but it was a barn burner as far as just strategy, that match, right? That was remarkable
Right.
in the duel. So, I mean, we could see several changes here. So, I don't know how to, if we want to just talk a little bit, speculate a little bit about how we think people will finish. But I'm going to throw out a couple Big Ten Penn State things here. So, Penn State won 2011 team title, 12, 13, 14. That's their longest win streak, I think. Then 2016 and 19, 2023, 24, 25. They win this year. That'll be four straight, tie the first streak. They've got Sanderson has coached 24 different guys, individuals to titles. Four are still wrestling right now. Little Doll, Davis, Haynes, and Messenbrink are all returning champs. Um, and I think Iowa holds the all-time title. I think it's 36 or 37 Big Ten titles. So that's a long way away from some of the records that Coach Sanderson is chasing, the Big Ten titles. But NCAA, of course, right? Iowa, Big Ten wasn't always as strong as it's been for the last 20 years, right? Like in the 80s, Big Ten was not well represented in the top four trophy teams. It was Oklahoma State, it was Arizona State, it was,
I
other
mean,
teams.
you depending upon how far you go back, half these teams were not in the Big Ten.
Total, this is true, right? Penn State wasn't in the Big Ten
Right.
until,
That was the EWL era.
yeah,
Nebraska has been in different conferences. Yeah, it just looked very different. But like Gable never lost a Big Ten tournament.
Coach Gable,
Yeah.
pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Uh, Yeah, so and we know that Penn State hasn't always peaked for the Big Ten, right? Did Michigan tie them? What was it, 2021?
Now they beat them by a point and a half.
Oh, okay.
But it's just one of those that when it's a smaller tournament
Yep.
that you can the it doesn't, and not to mention if if they continue to do what they've done as far as forcing the buys to the one and the two, Penn State's got eight guys not wrestling in the first round that are
Right.
not getting bonus points.
Yeah, right. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, it's why most tournaments will set it up so that you're not giving buys to the seeds automatically, and you're not you want the buys to truly be random,
Random.
uh,
Yeah. Yep.
so that from a team score you're not hammering the best team that's got all the high seeds.
Do you know any tournament directors that keep rolling the dice to get the random draw right?
I've heard it's been done. I know it's possible.
Okay, just checking. Yeah, checking for a friend. Um, yeah, so I wonder what kind of oversight there is on that. But here it doesn't matter, right? It's going to the one and the two, and it definitely affects the scoring, especially if, in such a short tournament.
Right. Yeah, when you got a small tournament and when you very rarely see a one or a two go down in the first round, and you just give them the bye and you don't get any bonus. And Penn State typically has at the national tournament their bonus adds up to another champion, and I'm
Right.
sure it would
Yep.
probably be comparable in the Big Ten, which is a tournament with half the entries.
Yeah. Well, should we jump into 25?
Yeah.
I mean, even if Buzakis does switch with Spencer Moore, and the only person I think that really messes up is, if he's, Nicola Rivera, who from Wisconsin, because I have him beating Spencer Moore. But otherwise, I got Lilladall. He's a returning champ. The real question to me is, I think it's him and Buzakis in the finals. We quite often see guys who are cutting a lot of weight get more cardio as a tournament goes on. Do you think Buzakis will experience that?
More than likely, I mean, come 6, 7 o'clock Sunday night, he's gonna be big. It's he's gonna give Luke a different feel than he did first match off the scale in the duel.
Exactly. And that first match, I was surprised, right? So there was a pretty good scramble in that first period, and both guys walked away like, I think, respecting each other because then the pace slowed down. But at the end of the third period, it looked like Little Doll got in on I think it was a right side high crotch inside step, and time ran out. But he got in so deep
Yep.
that, like, was that Buzakis running out of steam, or was that there the whole time? The strength, the tie-ups of Buzakis clearly affected Little Doll in the first period. I wonder if they're going to make his headgear a little looser this time, because a lot of times the way you do that to show a referee that you're pulling on headgear is you make it loose. If you make it too tight, that was the old school way of doing it. Then it gives the guy a handle on your head. So I don't know what they'll do, but I'm sure they're going to do something to keep Buzakis's hand off of Little Doll's head as much as can.
Yeah, it's I think I think Luke wins either way. And I mean, in as the bracket lays out now, I don't think Buzakis is going to be ultra tested in any match otherwise,
Yeah.
or any match right off the scale. I'm just double checking which days. Sunday starts in the semis. Is that Sunday morning?
I think so. Right? Semis, medal round, finals are usually like one or two, or something like that, three.
Yeah, and that's where I was just wanting to see their schedule.
So right now he's got a
So
match off this.
Sunday morning.
Yep.
No, semifinals are 7 o'clock Saturday night.
Okay. So then he'll have to weigh again. Wait, is that they weigh in Saturday that night then? They're not weighing in the morning.
Well, so the tournament starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Everything
Yep.
for Big Ten is Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. But I'm just talking about the
So it
second weigh-in. Like I'm
yeah,
guessing it's
so
that night, Saturday night. He'll be big and happy Sunday.
well they'll weigh in Sunday morning. I'm
You think?
guessing 11 o'clock. If the session three starts at 12, or is it 2 hours?
I thought for whatever reason, like at NCAAs, they weigh in the night before, is what I remember. Is that
Oh,
only
I don't.
because
I thought it was the morning of every day, like 1 or 2 hours before conference, before wrestling.
maybe someone will tell us which one it is? I thought the last day, the medal round, it was the night before. But so if he has to weigh in the day of, right? Like one, I'm taking a little doll regardless. Two,
Yeah,
it'll be if as the bracket stands right now, he'll have a match versus Maryland's Klein, who I've not been paying attention to, right? He's unseeded. That should be pretty easy. Aiden Smith, um, is a pretty good wrestler for Rutgers. But I don't see him giving Bazakis any trouble, even if the weight cut is bad. But
right.
Rivera is, he's one of those guys who I don't want to say he turns it on, but like no one saw him coming last year at NCAAs, and he had an on and off season this year. But if he's on, like he's a tough wrestle. Now, if they're facing each other, if he beats Moore or the brackets are split up so that Moore and Buzakis are reversed, Buzakis should be really hydrated by the time semifinals come around Saturday night.
Yeah, he should be in good shape Saturday night, and then even worst case, if they do weigh in, say 10 o'clock Sunday, finals aren't till 4:30.
Yeah, there you go. That's a lot of time to rehydrate. So, other interesting things to me would be if we see either guy break out a different style ride. Like we saw a little bit of that at 133 in the duel where Blaze was breaking out you know, um, trying to ride a little more than Davino might have been expecting. I wonder if we'll see either guy try to commit to a ride here, or if they're going to save that for NCAAs.
I think Buzakis has more to gain by riding than Lilidol.
Yeah, I I think you're right.
I don't think Lilidol is worried about wrestling on his feet.
I don't think so either. I just wanted to let you know I've gotten a couple of messages just before we started. Bo Nickel was, I don't want to say he was trolling Chael Sonnen about Chael turning down a Real American Freestyle card with him. And I retweeted it. And just kind of funny. Like I've been getting a little couple of private messages. They're like, do you know this is true? And I'm like, no, I just saw Nickel posted up there trying to, gain some traction with Chael. I mean, Chael's got to be, he's not my age, but I mean, he's got to be 45. He's probably close to your age. Maybe he's close to 50.
Yeah, I think he's getting up there.
I mean, I try to remember what teams he was on. I thought it was the early 90s, but I could be wrong.
He
That
is 48.
he's 48. There you go. Um, all right, so I got Little Doll one, Buzakis two. I got Rivera, Peterson, Moore, Moran, and Volk. Anybody you I like? I don't see any dark horse picks here. I mean, I guess Rivera is as close to as a dark horse as I can get.
So if I did this right, they qualify nine. Uh, and I think anybody seeded 10 through 14 is outside that no at that range for a reason.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, the top side, if nothing changes, I mean, Peterson, Sotelo, Volk, and Moran are all decent guys. That,
totally.
depending on how all, I think there's likely to be more place winners out of the top side than the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I got Peterson losing to Rivera, but then I got right Moran and Volk also placing. I don't know if I have more placing. I do have more.
Yeah, I
What
don't
am I talking
know.
about? I got him fifth. There you go. I don't know if you can see.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't do consies anywhere,
Okay.
but I'm thinking it's gonna be the finals are clearly gonna be Lilidol and Moore, or
Buzakis.
Lilidol and Buzakis.
Yep. All right, let's go up to 33. This is one of the weights that we could see get adjusted. Blaze is the one, Bird two, Davino three, Fugit four, Ayala five. If we end up seeing Bird move up to the one, right, that would be, you know, taking, putting whoever it is on the bottom is going to have a hard semifinal. And they're actually, I mean, this is a pretty solid weight across the board. So, even Braxton Brown, Drake Ayala, Fugit, Van D are all really solid wrestlers. Um, right now, I don't. Ayala would be a dark horse as a five seed. Like, can he turn it around here? But Fugit, another guy who turned it on last year for Wisconsin at NCAAs, and Bird returning champ. Davino Van D was he Lake Erie
Yep.
Prep, right? PA guy. Uh,
Did Ayala and Bird wrestle in the duel last year?
Good question.
Bird beat him in Big Tens and NCAAs, but I was curious just out of I know he beat him. Yeah, he lost to him in the duel. So Bird probably has, or Ayala has a better chance probably going through Bird if he's the one than he does Blaze.
Yeah. So wait, Ayala lost uh, to Lucas Bird last year in the duel, is what we're saying.
Yeah, so
4-2, right?
last year they wrestled three times and Bird
Yep.
won the last two.
Yeah. Yeah.
But aside from the pin in overtime, they were close.
They were
And
close.
even obviously
Exactly.
that was in overtime, and a lot of people quit after they get taken down in overtime.
Exactly. Yeah. If Blaze gets, I mean, it's so hard to say, but right now, I mean, I've got Ayala beating Fugit. I don't know if Iowa's right. I mean, I will tell you this, Jamie. I'm like close with a couple of these guys. One of the guys who's an Iowa All-American. He's texting me at this point. What are you hearing? Like the faithful have lost it, right? This Dan would never have like said that Brand's brothers are out after this year, which I mean, I can't believe the talk uh, amongst the Iowa faithful, right? It was pretty remarkable hearing two different guys who were both in that room. One was TJ Williams' workout partner. The other's an All-American there, and they can't believe the relationships. It sounds like the Brands brothers are, and I'm a fan of Tom Brands. Like I like Tom Brands personally, but they're burning relationships during the season, which seems crazy.
Yeah, I mean the whole Andine thing, obviously is crazy in and of itself. And then they only had 5 of their 10 guys actually allocate. So due to injuries, pitch count,
Yeah.
lineup changes, I mean, this was not a good year for Iowa.
This was, I mean, we talk about probably the roughest year since Brands' first year coming back from Virginia Tech. And I don't know if I just think, I mean, Ayala's a two-time finalist. Can he turn it on or is he just disconnected here? And, I'm just betting that he's going to give Fugit. I got Fugit coming out of the bottom of the 4 seed, and I got Ayala beating him. I think Blaze beats him if it stays that way, but I also got Bird beating him if it switches.
Right.
I think Davino would beat Van D in the bottom side, and it's going to be. I'm guessing Bird's going to be the one. It's going to be a Blaze Davino semifinal, which is you could be looking at the NCAA final and the Big Ten semifinals.
Right.
So
Yeah, I still have, if they get switched, which sounds like is likely, Bird has a much easier path. But I think I have Blaze making the finals. Him against Bird, that would be interesting. I still think Blaze would likely win, but it's one you haven't seen yet.
haven't seen it, and one of the because we talked about it earlier, right? So Ayala and Lucas Bird were really close. Take away the pin in overtime because it was like Bird went for it in a scram, or Ayala went for it in a scram. The duel, right? That was it. They were like Ayala went for a pretty crazy scramble and then just got caught on his back as
Well, that
he.
was Big Ten finals when he pinned him.
That was it.
Ayala won the duel.
Okay. So I think that's a really close match. And it's one of those things where I wonder, are they going to fight for that? Right. And, he's a returning national champion. We will see what happens. But, um, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Davino change things up a little bit with Blaze. Blaze has holds such great position. Can by if they do switch, can Davino create some kind of pressure for Blaze to be more active? Because Blaze, like he really was not active for probably 2 or 3 minutes during the duel versus Davino.
Yeah, no, I think Ayala's gonna turn it on and have a good tournament, but it's not gonna be easy.
Not gonna be easy. So he's my dark horse pick. But if he doesn't dark horse, I got him at fourth. And I got Blaze versus Bird in the final, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bird win if it's a tight match, just because Blaze might take a chance just to see what he can get away with at NCAAs. On the other hand, we've never seen Blaze break position, right?
Right.
So, I'm taking Blaze. All right, I'm taking Blaze, then Bird, Davino, Ayala, Fugit, Van D, and Brown.
Yeah, no, I think it's Blaze, and I do think Bird probably comes out of the top if they switch him.
There you go. 41, we got Jesse Mendez as the one, Hardy as a two, Von Bauer as a three, Bailey as the four, Ragusin as five. Um, who do we got? Clark six, Davis seven, and Decatur eight. This is one of those where we may or may not. It's an interesting draw here. Davis wasn't. I think he may have wrestled in the duel. I don't remember, but Olivari was out, right? So
Correct.
this is a tough opening match for Braden Davis.
Well, there's a chance it's getting switched, and he moves up to the six, which would put him against the. He would get a much easier match
without a
against
doubt.
Lemieux from Maryland. Uh, but him and Bombauer would be interesting because I don't. We didn't see that this year.
We didn't see that either, right? So this is the only guy that Davis has seen in this bracket is, well, he's seen Bailey in the past. Did they wrestle in a duel? They did not.
Bailey and
This year's duel, Bailey and Davis,
no.
they didn't, right? Bailey was out, right?
Yep.
So he's wrestled Hardy and Mendez, um, you know, two of the guys. And the Hardy match was interesting, right? So if he stays on that bottom side, I mean, Davis is probably the most wild man on the Penn State roster, right? Breaking position, kind of doing leg blocks when he's off balance, like trying to hold himself up. He does funky wrestling. And he's a returning Big Ten champ at 133, 125.
Davis.
Yeah, what was he
Davis
at?
was 25 champ 2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2 years ago. What was he last year?
133 last year.
Anyway, I'll keep talking while you're looking that up. Like
Yep.
what is it?
Yeah, I'll look.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly.
If he stays on the bottom side of the bracket, the match with Hardy, I mean, he took it to him a little bit and then tried to hang out on that head on inside of the knee on a single leg, and Hardy sat the corner and put him in a cradle and pinned him. If he learns something from that, if he could keep going hard for 7 minutes, like I think that's a competitive match, Jamie.
Davis was the 4 seed last year, and he placed fourth.
There you go. So, yeah, he won as a freshman, won as the 1 seed at 125 at NCAAs and got washed out. That's right. Um, so I mean Mendez, I mean it's really Jesse Mendez and then everybody else is just living there. If I had to pick a dark horse wrestling back, I would say Dylan Ragusin, although he has not had that kind of year. Um, Bailey can go with a lot of guys. I just don't think he can go with Mendez. I think Mendez is just at a different level.
I mean, Bailey hasn't looked good all year.
Hasn't. He's, I mean, the amount of money that he's rumored to have gotten, and you know, he used to be called a bright lights guy because what 2 years ago he wasn't consistently good. Um, he had a great, what I think he lost in sudden victory to Braden Davis in the, I don't know if it was at a duel at over like holiday duel. I think maybe it was a sudden victory escape. Um, Yeah, so this is one of those things where I just got Mendez, and until someone can beat Hardy, if Davis can beat Hardy, like it's Hardy and Mendez.
I agree. Yeah.
Dark horse for Rutgers would be, what does Joey Olivari do? Otherwise, Ragusin is kind of he hasn't had a good year, but he's like Bailey. He was good at one point, and I'm throwing him a bone there. So I got Mendez beating Hardy. The last time they wrestled, it was bonus. The first time was, I think, Mendez's only regular decision. But I think Mendez wants to put on a show here. I feel like he is, I don't know, Keanu Reeves in the Matrix. Like he sees the Matrix and he's flexing at the end of the movie. This is the end of his career, and he's just like turning it on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's all Mendez.
Um, Jumping to 49, Shane Van Ness is the one. Ethan Stiles, Ohio State, two. Zargo from Wisconsin is three. Lachlan McNeil, transferred to Michigan, is four. Carter Young, transferred to
Maryland.
Maryland from by way of what, Northwestern and Oklahoma State, is the five. Lamer, Clark, Ryder Block, Joffrey Roberts. Yeah,
It
that's
drops off real quick.
real quick there, right? Um, I just want to give Roberts love. He's, one of those Ice Station Zebra Idaho wrestlers. So Van Ness, I mean, looking at this, you know, Ryder Block could face him in the quarters. I can't remember. They faced each other, right? In the during the season. I just let's just hey Jamie, can you keep talking?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's Van Ness coming out regardless of any changes, and Styles and Zargo probably are close. Have to see who beat who this year, if they hit. But Styles has been up and down. He's been out of the lineup a bit as well. Let's see, 49.
Did we
Styles lost to Zargo this year.
gotcha? And did we get the what was
So
the Van Ness block result? That was a major
say that
decision.
again.
I didn't know if you covered the Van Ness rider block. It was a major decision in the duel.
Yeah, no, I just was looking as who could come out from the other side.
Got it.
And Styles lost to Zargo, so that semi could be close.
Styles lost to Zargo. Interesting. So, right. So the first round, right? Block. I got Young, McNeil. Who do you have? Do you have Carter Young, McNeil? I got
I
McNeil.
think McNeil might figure it out.
And then what about Chance Lamer? Like he used to be a good wrestler, and then
Yeah.
you know,
Uh, Sometimes they move around and it helps, and sometimes it's like they just are moving around and they don't ever seem to get back to where they were.
right? So he was at Michigan, then Cal Poly. I think he all AA'd, and then I think he got some money at Nebraska, and he's there for his COVID year. Um, yeah, I mean, I got Zargo winning there, and yeah, I got Van Ness over the field. I'd take Van Ness. This might be right if we're talking about confidence picks. It's to me, Shannon Van Ness is on that second tier below Barr, Mendez, and Messenbrink. Just because he's such a wild man, like he's been on his back. He almost got pinned this year for being such a wild man. But
Yeah,
I don't think he's got to worry in this. I'm not saying he doesn't have to worry in this field. I'm saying that like this is one of the less strenuous Big Ten weights.
I agree.
Yeah. Uh, so who do you have in the finals?
Van Ness and whoever comes out of the bottom.
Okay. Um, yeah, Lamer would be my dark horse. Going up to 57. I don't know if we'll see any adjustments here. Taylor's the one, Duke two. Um, Cannon, Braden Cannon is he the eight? Or is
Yeah,
he
Cannon's
unseated?
the eight.
The eight.
Seven. Seven.
Seven, my bad. Webster, Anthony White from Rutgers, Catrabone from Michigan, Millard, Minnesota, Brendan Cannon from OSU, Melchior, Buell, Voinovich. So Voinovich, it's an interesting thing for Iowa, right? We're not seeing Williams.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if it was they won the wrestle off or it was just thinking upside. I don't know. That was part of those lineup changes, or they didn't have same guys going the whole time.
Totally.
I don't. Neither of them allocated.
Neither of them allocated. And to me, it just makes me wonder if this is going to be part of like the idea. All right, Williams is out of here. So I'm trying to remember what year Voinovich is. I think is he a sophomore? He's a senior too. So I was wrong. I thought he was a junior. That's crazy that they're you know, I don't know. The rumor mill about how much money they spent on Williams, at least six figures, right? And not bottom six figures. So um it's crazy that he's not in the lineup. Just
I
I
know.
mean I mean I mean that's crazy. You're just throwing bad money around. Like your ROI is horrible here.
Yeah,
All
and they had similar experience last year with some of the transfers.
no doubt, no doubt. So if it doesn't move around, I mean, obviously the match of the quarterfinals is Cannon versus Duke at the bottom of the bracket, which that's the number one ranked guy in the country according to WrestleStat and the number
And
four guy.
Flow and Intermat and some of that stuff, depending upon if they've changed it recently.
Oh, say it again, Jamie. I broke up.
He was number one for Flow and Intermat too.
There you go. Yeah. So
It's
that's
just a matter if they pulled him out at the last minute because I think you have to wrestle in the last 30 days in order to get coaches rank. So I think that's where a lot of these people got pulled out. They got
right.
hurt.
Yeah. So this is be interesting. We're seeing if is Cannon 100% because I'd heard that he's I don't even the only thing I heard is he's not actually 100% right now. Whether that's true or not, that's the only thing I've heard. That his cardio is maybe not back, and we'll probably see him wearing a brace. What I don't again, I don't have much of a connection there, and I don't ask the guys that I know in that room for any details. Occasionally, it just slips out. So that's a pretty crazy match going against the number one ranked guy in the country, and Duke has right. His lone loss was to Antrell Taylor in the duel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I to me, it's almost a toss up at that point.
Yeah, it's a match everyone wanted to see in the duel, but Cannon's been hurt. And again, like mum's the word on Cannon's injury, Ferrari's injury, all that stuff. So they're going to give it a go, or do they default out and try to get
Right.
a wild card?
Yeah. I wouldn't be I don't know. I
I
mean,
mean, Cannon's got a tough first match against Voinovich.
totally, right? Voinovich is not a pushover, and I guess we're going to see a lot of what the recovery is like.
Yeah,
You never know. There's so much subterfuge and whatever marketing going on out there that you know they may be telling you one thing and it's just not true. Who knows? Um, but other than like Cannon, Duke, and Taylor, I mean, they're the class of this weight class, and if Cannon's not, if he's not wrestling, if he's forfeiting out, I mean, it's a Duke and Taylor final, and if he
Packer
is,
Bone has a chance with anybody, and Cannon Webster has been good.
he
But
has.
I still think Duke and Taylor are above them, but I don't want to discount the other guys. And Charlie Millard is very solid as well.
They're good wrestlers. I mean, like Webster comes in at number 9, and who did he lose to? I mean, he's a few losses, right? Right. Uh, uh, bad.
Webster lost to Millard and Antrell.
There you go. Well, and Antrell had one of those seasons where you're like, oh, wait a second. It didn't look like it was starting off great because who did he lose to? He lost to two
He
guys,
lost to Cannon was one of them, and then he
Cannon and
probably
Brzezinski from
lost
Lehigh.
to
He got
yeah.
he got majored right at the. I remember watching that. I was like, "What in the world is going on here? Like this is like, was he sick? He just wasn't into it? And it was one of those things last year that I thought Taylor took some losses that maybe like he lost to Ryder Downey last year. Then he lost to Kasich and Joey Blaze. Those are respectable. Those are really respectable matches. Um, so what do you got in the finals and what's your pick?
I think it's Duke and Taylor. I think Duke will push him to do more, and I'm gonna go with Duke getting it done.
Yeah, I got Duke in the finals with Taylor and right again there was one or two attacks and then it was just pretty much blocking and Taylor has picked up that new form of stalling or whatever you want to call it where you just circle in the center of the mat backwards.
Yeah,
You stay in the center of the mat. And, I think we talked about it before because we've seen other guys, Eddie Van Treska, who I like, he just walks out of bounds. Like, I don't understand how he's not getting called. It's the John Smith's nephew move against Andrew Howe in the finals. Chris Perry, right? Like, he backed out in the finals versus Andrew Howe, like 3 starts in a row and never got called for anything. Like, what? It's stalling then, it's stalling now. So if you're going to stall, I guess circle in the center of the mat. That's a little freestyle thing like the some of the Europeans do. You could pick it up doing that. So
right.
should be a good one. That could be a preview of the national final. For wrestling fans, I hope Cannon is 100% because I would like to see that match. Like I want to see that match. I want to, I'm a Penn State fan, obviously, but I really would like to see the best guys in the best shape and the best condition get it on.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to see it in the quarters.
Yeah, exactly, Jamie. Right? I'd like to see that in the semis or the finals.
Right.
And I'd like it to be on the other side, like, have Taylor and Cannon in the semis. But there you are. Here we are. Um, 65?
Yep.
Mess and Brink one.
Mitchell's World.
Say it again.
Messing Brink's World.
Mess and Brink's world. You know, um, I I I would pick so Bar. I already mentioned that Bar, Mendez, and Messenbrinks are kind of my, the guys who I think a confidence pick. But the one thing, right? We've seen the Caliendo match. We haven't seen that Blaze match, and Blaze beat Caliendo. So anyway, Messenbrink one, Caliendo two, Blaze three. Andrew Sparks, Minnesota, four. LJ Arujau, five from Nebraska. He's my dark horse pick if he's a dark horse at the five. Scholes, Barbarossa, Gallagher, Lillard, Goebel. And I need readers. Jacob Botzelman from Northwestern. I can't say I'm familiar. Gates,
Nope.
Rodriguez, and Connolly.
Yeah, again, it drops off. Nine allocated, but it drops off after those top three. Patty, you might be able to put into that four group,
Yeah.
but he's never had a great year. He's had great matches,
Yeah.
but never really put a big full year together.
Right. I mean, Mitchell beat him in it was a major. I can't think of, I think it was a major. It was not a tech in the duel pulling up. Yep, 12-2, 12-2. And then as you're talking about it, I mean, Karchla or Gallagher has always had good matches, not great years, round of 16 his freshman year, and then he was a national qualifier his junior year. Did he qualify? Was he in the lineup 2 years ago? He was. He just went. Where do you go? 0 and 2 at NCAAs.
Yeah, he's had some rough postseasons.
Yeah, and last year he lost at NCAAs to Hunter Garvin and then Thomas Snipes, number 32 from Citadel. So in the third tiebreaker, I don't know if he was hurt, but like that's not a good postseason loss. So Messenbrink, right? You got to think that he's going to be trying to bonus point his way through here. Um, And I got Blaze over Caliendo in the bottom final. I have Messenbrink over Gallagher with bonus. Arujau, I can't remember. Do you remember what that was in let's see. It was a tech fall in the duel. So I mean he's got everybody's number here, and it's just a matter of seeing what Marcus Blaze's older brother has got for him, in my mind.
Yeah, he's majored or taxed or pinned everybody in the field. That's Mitchell.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to I think the Blaze will repeat the Caliendo match and right, we've talked about it like not a lot of guys are getting better. Maybe Gabe Arnold in that Iowa room. And for Caliendo to end up losing to Blaze is I don't want to say it's a wake-up call, but like it's something, right? Like that's his only other loss is Messenbrink and Ladarian Lockett.
Right.
All right. So Messenbrink, my dark horse is LJ Arujau from Nebraska, finishing third. I got him beating Caliendo, who he lost to in the duel, I believe, right? Um, pull that up real quick. I don't know. Caliendo, Nebraska. He
Caliendo.
crushed him in the duel. That's a bad pick on my part. I just, after watching the Blaze match, I was like,
Yeah,
Caliendo,
he majored him.
he's not peaking at this time of the year. So 74, we talked about this, whether Haynes and Minto will switch positions. Minto's the one right now, Haynes two, Kennedy three, Bo Mantanona four, Karchla five, Gilcher, Riddle, Bauman, Kelly, Lenny Pinto, not having a great year as is he the 10 at Rutgers after transferring from Nebraska? He is just like, I thought he would do a little bit better. I, I wrote something that made a lot of people angry about me that Nebraska needs a better technical coach. Um, after losing what's his name to Columbia, the head coach. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Oh, Pritzloff
Yeah, Donnie Pritzloff, and then you lose Anthony Ashnault to Princeton. Like who's the other guy who just went there? He's a good wrestler from Nebraska, right? It's oh God, I'm drawing a blank right now, but they brought someone in who's
Oh, Mikey Labriola.
Mikey Labriola, but like he's not a technical wrestler. Mikey Labriola he's funky, right? So
He's a
Nebraska,
brawler.
say it again.
He's a brawler
The
too.
pro, right? Rutgers really needs to, and Goodall is really loyal. I don't know what he's going to do with his coaching staff, but he needs somebody. Like things changed for Rutgers when they brought Pritzloff in, and then they had the Blair coach,
Buxton,
Buxton, who's also now I think at New York and Columbia.
Columbia.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. I think he's NYRTC and Columbia, right? And there's no doubt that Columbia is probably having one of their best seasons. Anyway, I don't know where we're going to go with that, but that's yeah, yeah. There we are. So that was it. That was Pinto not having a great COVID year.
I
So I
mean,
guess
Levi wins either way,
yeah,
but it's just does he get the respect he deserves and get the one seed?
exactly. I mean, he already has the a solid. You how many times has he beat Kennedy? Let's see.
How many times Levi?
Yeah. Oh, Kennedy wasn't in the match this year. It was Arnold, and he won 4-2. And then he beat him 11-3 in what was that for third place last year? So, I mean, he's got a clear edge on him. And to me, it's one of those things where, oh, did you see like they're doing that? So we talked about it on the podcast. Everybody was complaining about Levi being a jerk, pushing Minto off the stage. But
Yeah.
those still photos show that Minto's holding on to him because he doesn't want to fall off the stage, and Levi's trying to shove him away. Like it was not a malicious thing. There's malicious times, but I don't know if you came with that same thought as I did, but that was just you know
I wouldn't go as far as some people said that he was pulling himself off, but it wasn't a good look either way.
either way. Uh, to me, the interesting matchup here, just going back to '74, is Karchla and Mantanona. If that stays the same, um, Bo has had some good wins. Did he beat? He didn't beat Kennedy. I don't know who he beat from Iowa. He beat somebody, but it, that's a good quarterfinal. And Karchla has not necessarily had whatever. He's had so many injuries. I don't know where he's at right now, and it's one of those things where yeah, who do you, yeah, he lost to Kennedy close 2-1, and he lost to Minto in sudden victory, right? So I give him an edge there coming out of the five, but I don't know how that's going to go. And then yeah, I'm guessing that Levi won what on a knee tap over Minto.
Yes. Yep.
So I just wonder if he's going to open it up a little bit more, like maybe we would expect Duke versus Taylor.
It's hard to say. I mean, some of these guys, a lot of times these guys don't show anything in the in the duel. They save it for the postseason.
Yeah,
So will he open up? It's possible.
maybe. I mean, Minto's lost to Karchla, lost to Facundo, who was right 5-1. Like that's as many points as Facundo will score, right? Must have been one takedown, an escape, and maybe another riding time point. I don't know. And then he lost to Patrick Kennedy 2-1. So and Levi Haynes 8-6. I mean, he kind of rose to the occasion. I don't know if it's a style matchup for Levi, but I'm taking Levi. Penn State's got six. Was it six guys coming in as the one seed?
6 1s and two twos, I think.
Yeah. So I got Haynes as a 90%. Like he's on my third tier of confidence for Penn State.
Yeah, no, I think he's definitely going to do well. I think he's going to win it regardless of who he ends up with.
Uh, 84. You want to run us down the line?
Right now it's Rocco 1, McAnally 2, Allred 3, Brock Mantonona 4, Chris Moore 5, Fishback 6, Cartagena Walsh 7, and Angelo Ferrari, the best number 8 seed in the tournament.
Yeah. So I mean, I think right. He had I don't know if it was a high ankle sprain, but something like that, right?
That's what they're saying, his ankle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
keep
I
going.
I don't know if it was actually a sprain or worse. So we will see how he comes back. It could have been worse than that. So it's one of those things that, guys who get tears, like if you start using that Wolverine blood, it's in and out of your system pretty quickly if you're not getting tested. So if you don't know what that is, start looking at peptides. People have remarkable results healing ligaments. And because it's in and out of your system in 20 minutes, uh, if you know you're going to go compete, it's, and that's where you're most likely to maybe be P tested is at a tournament or something because the NCAA doesn't want to spend money sending people to your compound unless you're Penn State. Um, it washes out of your system. And I'm not saying Angelo has used these at all. I'm just talking about I know several college wrestlers who have used them. I know several high school wrestlers, and none of them have ever tested if they were tested. So, all right, interesting matchup. So if this happens, Welsh is the one. Seeing Angelo in the quarters would be pretty crazy. That was a really close match, and as we talked about. Rocco's foot speed and his game planning. That was a really remarkable match. You go back and watch it. There wasn't a lot of scoring, but the distance that Rocco was able to keep, winning in tiebreakers, the game plan, Rocco well showed me something. He doesn't have the strongest upper body shoulders, but he was able to. I can't remember what it was. Ferrari was on in a 3-point stance, something like 3 minutes during that match
Oh, it was a ton.
ton, right? Maybe more than that. And people get too close to him, so he can just dart underneath you. He's really quick. But Rocco was able to keep that distance.
Well, people are, I mean, the drop down is kind of gotten analyzed and everyone's aware of it now and knows it's coming. But yeah, I think Rocco was clearly game plan for it. He knew what to expect and didn't chase.
Yep. Here's another one where I wonder if he may just injury default out and go to NCAAs because I don't think like from what I heard is he's not close to 100%. So
I
whether
wouldn't be surprised. I
yeah.
mean, high ankles are not a fast healing thing, and taping it and all that stuff only goes so far.
Yeah, and it's one. All right, so you can say, "Oh, he'll go down to his 3-point stance." It's not just that though; it's the cardio that you miss because you can't put the same force on an airdyne or whatever else you're doing to try and keep your lungs in shape, right? It's one of those things you end up strapping it up to your knee so your foot doesn't take a ton of pressure while you're trying to stay in the pool, but it all aggravates it. So it's one of those things. We'll see what happens there. Um,
What's your over under on guys that the injured guys forfeit out?
I'm going to say over under is 1.5 of the guys who were seated, right? So we're talking about Cannon, Ferrari, and Ferrari.
I don't know about AJ, but Angelo and Cannon are definitely candidates for sure.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
guessing one
I
of them
don't.
will go and one of them
Yeah, I don't
won't.
know how many others are other big names are fighting injuries that are even remotely public.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise, we have McAnally and Allred at the bottom and Fishback. I have Fishback as my sleeper. I don't know why. There's just something about his mustache, Jamie.
I think McAnally's gonna get it turned on. I mean, for how much he was talked about last year and how well he did, and then like you barely heard about him this year.
Yeah, I mean, he had that loss to, was it Aiden Sinclair, maybe? Who did he
Yeah.
lose? Aiden Sinclair, 6'3". Um, And then I don't think he wrestled. Did he wrestle Arnold in the duel? Beat Arnold 4-1 in the duel with Iowa. Um, And that was it. Like they didn't have a ton of. He beat Fishback 4-1 in sudden victory. He beat Allred in
Yeah, he's
sudden
8-0
victory.
against the field and 17-1 on the year, with that loss being the Sinclair that you mentioned.
Yeah. And I think he caught everybody by surprise a little bit last year, right? Like he was, yeah, I don't, was he a true freshman last year or redshirt?
Freshman for sure, can't confirm true or red shirt.
I think he was a redshirt freshman, and right, he was had that sudden victory loss to Kekheisen, lost a sudden victory in the Big Tens to Carter, going for his fifth title, and I mean, there was a lot of surprise. I don't want to say surprise, but I guess it was a surprise to a lot of people, right? Um, keeping it that close, sudden victory with Strachey. As if I recall, he took Strachey down in the Big Ten match first, right? And
It could be.
put him on
Yeah.
notice. And all of a sudden, we talked about this with Levi. Levi takes second as a freshman, and his sophomore year when he was a champ, he just wrestled tight. He was just tight. He still didn't lose a Big Ten duel his whole career. I don't know how many people have not lost a Big Ten duel, but Levi Haynes is on that list, and he was tight, and he ended up winning the national championship. So, I mean, McAnally, I think, is the best guy, and it's just a matter of he's going to wrestle loose. I have whatever. I questioned myself. I got Fishback beating Allred, but I think Allred lost to him in the duel. Um, let's see.
Allred did lose to McAnally in the duel.
There you go. So I got Rocco winning here. Its hardest match will probably be McAnally, but it could be Ferrari in the quarterfinals.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if Ferrari's healthy-ish,
Yeah,
it's still going to be tough.
it'll be a tight match, but because Ferrari makes all his matches tight, but I just feel like I don't feel like I think that Rocco, I mean, he showed some real mental toughness this year. Like his game planning is so spectacular, and his foot speed is remarkable for a guy that size. I'm just impressed with the guy, and he showed me something. I didn't think he was going to be in the national title hunt for Penn State. I thought he was a 3 through 8 guy when he came over, and I don't think that Penn State is necessarily peaking this time of year, but like his what's the word I'm looking for? His biggest opponent may
His
be.
growth this year was way more than I think anybody expected.
I agree. And Sinclair, who did Sinclair lose to? His only loss was Angelo Ferrari in tiebreaker. So
Yep.
he may, that match at NCAAs could be pretty interesting as well. But I taking taking Rocco for the win.
Yeah, him and McAnally will be interesting because, again, if McAnally shows kind of the form he showed last year, I think he's definitely got a chance.
Going up to 97. You want to do the rundown?
Let's see, 97, Barr 1, McDaniel 2, Remy Cotton 3, Branson John 4, Geog 5, Ingram, Wisconsin 6, Whistler, Michigan 7, Solers, Indiana 8, Venadia, Purdue 9, and Hayden Walters 10, Nelson, Minnesota, Connell, Illinois, and all the way down at 13, Iowa's utility man, Gabe Arnold, and 14 is Alex Smith of Northwestern.
There you go. I mean, he's not a dark horse, but like Arnold is my dark horse at this weight, but I don't think anybody is beating Josh Barr here. Um, but that'll be an interesting match. I don't think Arnold has the gas tank, so I'm just skipping right ahead. I mean, Barr has what does he have? He's got a major over Geog, and then McDaniel major decision in the duel, and then
He tech Cotton, majored Geog, majored Solers, tech Hayden Walters, and pinned Alex Smith.
there you go, 100% bonus rate. So this will be interesting. I think that if Arnold can tie Barr up for a little bit, he might be able to slow him down and maybe even get the takedown. But I don't think so. I really don't. And I think Barr, we've talked about. He wrestles like Jason Nolf, but he's 45 pounds bigger than he was, right? Like he just goes and no one can stay with him. Even when he hurt himself last year, and probably wasn't practicing between Big Tens and NCAAs, like he came out and pushed the pace versus the national champion. He lost to who was it? The guy
Nebraska or up no
transfer.
Iowa
Yeah.
Buchanan.
Yeah, Buchanan transfer, right? From where everywhere, Oklahoma, Michigan, wherever. Uh,
Yeah,
so, I mean, I got Barr on the top side. Arnold, I got finishing third. And McDaniel, I mean, he looks like most likely to come out of the bottom side. Well, he's already been bonus pointed. What was it, 12-2? I can't remember in the duel. Um,
it was it was he was pushing for a tech.
Pushing for a tech, and then McDaniel took him down in the last 30 seconds. It was 21-9. And then Barr kind of just stopped the push when he realized the tech was over. Um, so, yeah, Barr is on, he's my highest confidence pick here. Barr, Mendez, Messenbrink are my top tier. Van Ness, then Haynes at 90%, Lillidahl at 80%, and then 84, 33, 57, and 285 or we'll finish up on 285. But thoughts, like I just don't I think Barr could bonus point his way through this.
I agree. It's not he's not going to be challenged.
285, you got it up?
Yep, I think this is going to get changed. It just doesn't feel right, but those roundabout matches is kind of what makes it crazy.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, it makes it almost impossible to seed when I beat you, then you beat the other guy, and the other guy beats me, right? It just
Right.
how do you seed that? And I don't, I mean, it's as old as competition sports, and you know, a tournament is the only efficient way to do this because you can have all whatever 16 guys wrestle each other, and then the winner, right? Then re-wrestle each other. Can't all be round robin like it. I don't know if you were ever in those tournaments, but when I was in middle school in central Pennsylvania, it was there was a format, but I don't know if it was in Sunbury or like one other school. Whenever we go there, we knew we were going to wrestle about 25 times because all they did was do round robin brackets of like 12.
Oh God.
Right? It was insane. In seventh grade, I remember Coach Lorenzo showed up and was telling people this is the hardest they would ever wrestle. Right? Like it was, I don't know if he had a connection with the Shikellamy coach or the Selinsgrove coach, somebody, and he would just show up uh, and at random practices when I was in youth or in middle school at competitions, and he would just show up and tell us we were working harder than everybody else in college. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right, so what do are we speculating the changes, Jamie, or are we just gonna start picking here? Because there's some good competition here.
Oh, there's a ton. I mean, this weight current seeds: Gadiali 1, Ferrari 2, Feldman 3, Mirasola 4, Amos 5. Probably stops there, but Luffman, Hopke, Kaka, and Josh Terrell from Michigan State are all good, and Keeter's down at the 10.
Yeah,
Uh,
right?
I mean, he placed fifth at nationals last year, and now he's seeded 10th in the Big Ten.
Completely. I don't know. I mean, you can't. Was it fifth or whatever? It might have been lower, but not important. He was an All-American for sure, and like I just didn't see the fall off for him this year. Like, I don't know if he's got an injury that we don't know about or that he is just like, I don't know who he's working out with. Is it Morningstar? There's no one in that room for him to work out with. Like, you know, Spencer Lee has got
DeSanto.
DeSanto to work out with. But otherwise, who's in that room? Who's
Right. And Dean's not there, so he doesn't have the 97 pounder.
right? And so it's just one of those things that it's not a good room for the big guys to work out with. Maybe he works out with Ferrari a little bit, but still, that's 50, should be a 50-pound difference.
Right.
Anyway, back to the bracket. I feel bad for Keeter. I guess that's my point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do change anything because there are so many toss ups. But I would love that. the Amos worries me if it stays as it is for Mirasola because he's on the top side with the bigger heavyweights, and he's had better success with the lighter ones, which are mostly on the bottom.
Exactly. And you and I have both talked about it. Like Amos is a full size. He's too full size of a
Yes.
heavyweight, right? Like, I mean, he's gone past being a big heavyweight to having a belly. But,
Yeah.
but when he's sprawling on you, that's 280 pounds.
Right.
And as you said, Mirasola has struggled with finishing on the bigger guys like Gadali, or he didn't wrestle Amos, but Taylor. And Amos is as big as Taylor, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, and Amos beat who was the Wyoming guy? I think Amos beat
Christian
the.
Carroll.
Yeah, I think he beat Carroll.
I'll check it out right now. Let's see. Christian Carroll lost to Colby Merrill. Somebody I don't know from Navy. Feldman. Yeah, I don't see that.
Okay, maybe they didn't lose to him. It was close though.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it right now. I went the other way around. So keep going.
But so like like Mirasola has had a great second half of the year, and that win over Feldman was huge. But I still it makes me nervous against some of these bigger guys.
No doubt. And like if you look at that, if you watch that, you rewatch it, right? Mirasola kind of whacked Feldman in the eye unintentionally. I think it just took Feldman out of his game plan. Um,
Yeah,
there's a reason, like in UFC, why you're not allowed to eye poke. And I always tell my daughter, like, if anybody ever attacks you, you go for you rip the eyeball out. Like everybody stops when your eye is being poked out, right? That's just the bottom.
sure,
Say that again, Jamie.
sure. Yeah, I mean that
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, it hurts. Even in UFC fights, when you get a thumb in the eye, when you're being punched or a finger, it's like even when it's unintentional, you get 5 minutes. I don't think Feldman took 5 minutes anyway. But there's Feldman, Amos, um, Keeter sitting there, Ferrari. Who else are we talking about? I mean, Amos is like that's a tough match off the I guess the quarterfinal. And he's got to weigh 280.
Yeah.
Um, and we've talked about it. Cole has gotten better all season. Like he's truly gotten better. But like that's a big guy, and that's one of your challenges right there, the big guys. And then
Yeah, that this current setup worries me for Cole.
yeah, this is a tough draw because then you end up getting Gadali, right? And then what was that
Right.
score? I think it was like 5-1, and like Gadali's legs are so long that you just I don't want to say you bounce off of them, but like if you watch the Ohio State match, you thinking Feldman was just beat Ferrari a couple times. He got Gadali's ankle pulled between his leg. Gadali is on his right knee, but he can't yank that ankle forward enough to get Gadali on his hip. It's one of those things like his hips are high enough because between distance between his knee and his hip is high enough they can still keep pressure on you while you're still trying to yank the bottom part of his leg. It's a really interesting thing when you're that tall how you can maintain leverage still.
Yeah, and like you said, the weight and the size,
Yeah.
just
So who do you got? Do you have if it stays the same? I got Ferrari Feldman meeting in the semifinals. Ferrari's lost him twice. I'm picking Nick for the third time as a charm.
yeah. I think Nick's
Patrick.
got a good with this draw. I think he's got a good pull as far as to get to the finals.
Um, so Feldman lost to Marisola, sudden victory, lost to Gadali, Bastida, and Isaac Trumbull, right? So similar to the Marisola size issue, Feldman had a little trouble with that. Ferrari's not that big. Ferrari's whatever. I think they're probably the same size, 230. Um, so I got Feldman and I got Gadali coming out of the top side. Um, and Mirasola, like if he makes the finals, like it was so close with the Gadali, maybe he mixes things up and can finish it. But if he loses to Amos, like there's a bunch of tough guys in the backside.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I said, I do not like this draw.
This is a tough draw. It's probably the worst draw for Penn State and my lowest confidence pick for a Penn State wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, if it stays like it is, that's a rough draw for being the 4 seed.
Yeah. On the other hand, Penn State scored 133 team points last year, I think with five champs, whatever it is. If our picks happen, they're going to break that record dramatically, right?
If seeds hold true, they're going to hit 169 without bonus.
That's pretty, yeah. And while they're not the same bonus team, you know, tell me, what do you think about this, Jamie? Like this could easily be the best Penn State wrestling team, and they're real young. They lose Levi, that's it. But I don't think they're thought of it as the best team because the guys don't have bonus rates like Zane and Nolf and, the Ruth and Taylor era. What are your thoughts?
I mean, if you look at, I mean, some of the guys are starting to. If we just go,
Hey, look, Barr. I mean, they have a tremendous. They got what Messenbrink, Barr, Levi.
Blaze has Lilidol and Blaze are probably 50% bonus people. Van Ness is probably a little high. Duke has got a high bonus rate, probably in the 70s. Mitchell's 100. Levi's probably 70, 80s. Rocco is not as much. Barr is close to 100. And then Mirasola is not.
Gotcha.
So I think they might have similar kind of bonus rate, but I don't know if they're going to do it at nationals.
Mhm. Right. I think David Taylor scored more bonus points one of his years than any team combined. Right. I think he had whatever. It was enough that it was just another wrestler just by himself. Right. It was like something ridiculous. I can't remember
Yeah.
what it was it all pins or techs? I can't remember. Into the finals. Anyway,
His junior year, I think because he teched the guy from Lehigh in the finals, right? Or
I
was that his sophomore year? Junior
uh
year, he lost to Dake.
yeah, that was his junior year. Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Junior year, he lost to Dake
Yep.
because
Okay.
he got pinned by Bubba. He won
Yep.
as a sophomore, lost to Dake as a junior, and then he beat Oklahoma
Nice.
State as a senior.
Yeah. Um who's that? I'm drawing a blank on the guy. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe there's just not as much fanfare, or maybe it's just not as new, so there's not as much media coverage of it. The Starocki Brooks era was more neutral winning, less domination, and these guys, do have a higher bonus rate than that crew did. So, I take I'm sorry, Penn State clearly winning. I got Ohio State kind of on an island by themselves, and then I got Nebraska finishing above Iowa, and then yeah, that's my top four.
Again, just going off seeds, they have Penn State 1, Nebraska 2, Ohio State 3, Michigan 4, Illinois 5, Minnesota 6, Iowa down, or Illinois 6, Minnesota 7, Iowa all the way down at 8.
That's just crazy. I can't do it. I mean, part of that Ohio State Nebraska thing is that Cannon, if he's wrestling, is at the A seed. So we don't even know, right? We don't know. And same with Iowa with Ferrari. So uh, it'll be real
And
interesting.
Gabe Arnold.
And Gabe Arnold, right? So it's yeah. When I was going through it, I know we didn't have the consolation bracket, but I was just sort of doing a quick check of how many people were going to finish in the top four, and that's how I got my numbers. But if Iowa finishes outside of that with Arnold and Ferrari wrestling, so if Ferrari Angelo actually is competing and looks healthy, and they have Arnold in there, and they finish outside the top five, like I mean. I mean, people's heads are going to be on fire in Iowa.
Yeah, no, it's not looking. I think obviously they have a couple guys that are expected to outperform their seeds. So I think they're not going to fin. I don't think they're going to finish eighth, but it might be hard for them to get in the top four.
It could be. What do I have them at four or five? One, two, three. I have four neck and neck with Minnesota and Illinois. So. Interesting. Michigan seems to be down. They were using the transfer portal, and that doesn't seem to have. They didn't really reload this year, and they haven't looked great. And then, Rutgers, we already talked about them a little bit. Joey Blaze has really produced whole, I don't want to say his whole team, but like they're pinning a lot on there. And Maryland's down a little bit, even though they brought in some transfers, they lost some guys. Um, and I guess the other guy who was on the hot seat and seems to have gotten off it a little bit is Coach Bono at Wisconsin. Any thoughts on Coach Bono? I wrote a little apology almost when I was doing the program assessments, thinking maybe there's some green grass sprouting here, but I'm not sure.
I mean, last year it was just uh 30 Pack was pretty much the only one that did anything. But then they went and had a good regular season. They pulled some upsets.
Yeah,
They they definitely, I think there's something going on there where things are getting better.
yeah. I mean, it was Fugit and Rivera who had reasonable years last year, I think, right? At NCAA, unexpected NCAAs. They ended up graduating some guys, but I'm trying to just pull up their schedule here. So they lost to Iowa, they lost to Minnesota, Ohio State, Indiana, who is not having a good year, and Northern Iowa. I mean, Indiana is, you know, I, yeah. Anyway, I picked on them as well because, that position was filled without an interview, which is just kind of crazy. I'm kind of surprised you're still allowed to do that without getting in trouble these days. Um, all right, Jamie,
I
anything else?
mean, it was a minority hire. I don't know if that relieves them of any of the
Yeah,
rules or the requirements.
good question. I mean, maybe, but there have not been the results that you would expect. I mean,
No.
they're in the wrestling belt here. Um, and I was not impressed with I seen them at the US Open a couple times. And the coaching, I don't know what the word is. Almost everything is about relationships, and it just didn't feel like there were good relationships there, which is just like if you can say the same thing. Did you watch the Ben Askren thing about brands? He was talking about brands is not telling the truth to people, but it's really about their relationships, and he's burning relationships for years, right? I mean, I think we talked about it. Metcalf sacrificed a year for brands, goes to Iowa, and now they don't even talk. Like that's
Right.
crazy. How do you burn relationships out easily?
It's not good.
Yeah,
Uh, and it's kind of the opposite of what everyone says about with Kale and the relationship he's got with the the wrestlers and everything.
yeah, yeah, yep. So if you're young and you're listening, I apologize, and two, remember it's about your long-term relationships. All right. Anything before we sign off, Jamie?
It's going to be exciting. In one regard, you hope they fix some of the seeds, but you wish they would do it sooner.
No kidding, right? How about on a Wednesday so we could do a better preview? All right, people. Thanks for
You
listening.
can only assume they're waiting for people to get there in person and do it.
Well, it's got to be that, right? They're there. They're going to warm up and they're going to have a meeting, and yeah, that's like probably the last thing coaches want. They're coming in angry, right?
Exactly.
We we saw Sanderson be as demonstrative as we've ever seen him. All right, maybe it wasn't that verbally unhappy because he was same expression, let's say.
He made more comments about stuff that he normally he doesn't care about this stuff too much. But yeah, he was a little more vocal than his normal, which is saying something.
Yeah, well, maybe you, Willie Saylor, I don't know, Jason Bryant, and Pirate can do it. All right. On that note, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you with a roundup.